Hi friends, welcome back to our urban homestead. My name is Chelsea and welcome back to the kitchen. We are going to be canning some ham and northern bean soup. So Christmas is a few days away, and that means it's getting towards the end of the month. At the end of every month, I like to clean out my freezer, not my deep freezer, but the freezer that I have in the kitchen. That way I can take any carcasses that I have left over, or I put like all of my veggie scraps in a Ziploc bag, and then I can make stock and chicken broth or do whatever. So I cleaned out my freezer last night. I found some ham left over from Thanksgiving. I put that in my crock pot and let that cook all night on low. I also found a chicken carcass and some leftover turkey, so I'm going to be doing chicken and dumplings for supper tonight. That went into my big 24 quart roaster, cooked all night. So I'll make dinner from that, and then I will have more stock or broth to can up because my shelves are getting really low. I try to not go to the grocery store. That I grow a lot of our food. What I don't grow gets purchased through local butchers. I don't like going to the store. I just don't like to do it, and I think the food they sell is not very good. So we are going to be doing ham and northern bean soup with the ham that I had cooking overnight. I also had some chopped carrots in my freezer. These were carrots that I grew, but they weren't quite pretty enough to put into jars, so I just always do like a fine dice on those. And then onions that were already chopped in my freezer as well. So the beans, I buy my beans in bulk. I do not rinse my beans or soak my beans when I make soup, but what I do is when I get home, I dump them all out and I do sort through them. I pick out all the rocks and all the ones that are like brown and just don't look right, and then I just throw them back in the bag. So to each one of these, I'm using my Presto digital canner today because I am trying to like get the house clean and ready for Christmas. So I don't have time to sit and babysit a pressure canner, and that is one of the things I absolutely love about the Presto digital canner. It does its thing and you can do yours. So we're gonna add to, I just pulled these out right before I started the video. They're still quite warm. We're gonna do quart jars. And to each quart, I'm gonna add about 3/4 of a cup of beans because I want it to be a little bit brothy and to have room for the ham and the vegetables that are going in. Now, if you were doing just plain beans, you would want to add a cup to each quart. My hands are clean. And then I'm going to grab a handful of ham. Put that on each one. And then we'll just layer the carrots on top. You guys can see that. It's a great way to use what you have on hand, and you also don't have any waste, which is something I really like. I don't like to waste food. There's so many hungry people in the world. And then we're just gonna layer the onion on top of that. Some might have a little more than others, but that's okay. I have a bowl of vinegar that I like to wipe my rims with. You can use just like hot water, but I like to use vinegar. I'm gonna set my jars up here. Maybe you can see them a little bit better. So this is the stock. Once I get it in the jar, you'll be able to see it. That the ham cooked in the crock pot all night. Oh, it is so rich looking and wonderful. So we're gonna fill these up to right to this lip here, or 1 inch of head space. So I know I'm gonna hear someone ask, is this an approved recipe? Well, it's approved by me. I've been canning for a very long time. Honestly, since I was little, my family has always preserved, and I've always been a part of that preserving process. So I feel very comfortable with what I know can be put up and what can't be put up. And I feel like I have pretty safe practices. So I don't get like crazy and canned cottage cheese or anything like that. Although I've seen people do it and I'm just like, whew, but that smells good. So look at how beautiful, the beautiful color on that. And that's just from cooking that ham on low in the crock pot overnight. Again, going to the 1 inch of head space. This is one of my favorite soups. All-time favorite. And it's so easy when it's like, we get a lot of snow here in Michigan, so when there's 3 feet of snow outside, super easy to just pop open a couple jars of this, make a loaf of sourdough bread, and you've got dinner. I'm not adding any salt to these jars because the ham is quite salty enough, and you don't want it to be too overpowered by salt. Okay, almost done. I might not have quite enough to fill this up, so I'll just have to give it, oh, I think I might. Look at that, perfect. I love when that happens. Love it. Got just a piece of paper towel with my vinegar. I especially like to use vinegar if it's got, you know, like something oily in it. Like, obviously this ham stock has a bit of fat in it. Some people put their stock in the fridge and then skim the fat off of it. I don't like to do that because I don't mind fat, obviously. Where there's fat, there's flavor. I'm a big believer of that. All right, then I'm just gonna pop these lids on. You only wanna go fingertip tight. So what that means, is, all right, so it's completely loose. You just want to tighten it just until it tightens, and that's it. I see a lot of people having problems with their lids buckling and things of that nature, and that is your number one reason why, is because you're tightening your lids too much. This might be the wrong lid. I have two different types. I mainly have ball jars, but I have another brand that I got from the Farm and Fleet because y'all know how bad the shortage was. And the lids are not interchangeable with ball, which is kind of annoying. And just because my hands aren't burning when I'm touching this, please don't think this stuff is not hot. I did work in restaurant and catering for a very long time, so my hands are like very used to heat. All right, so I'm gonna lower these jars into here. I love this thing. I have several pressure canners. This is the only digital one that I have. I have a couple of the regular Prestos that have the jiggler and weight. But like I said, I have a lot of stuff to do, so I don't have time to sit here and listen to make sure the jiggler's jiggling and regulate the stove and all that. I don't have time for all that today. So these are in. All I'm gonna do is push the button and it'll heat up. It'll tell me when to put this regulator on, and then it'll vent for 10 minutes just like you do with any other normal canner, and that's it. So like if I had to run to the store, which I'm not, or if I didn't hear a timer go off like with your normal pressure canners, it will just stop. It won't do anything else. It cools down by itself. It is wonderful. I absolutely love this. If you can afford one, I would highly recommend it because they are wonderful. All right, so I'm gonna get the kitchen cleaned up. I've got to start working on picking apart the chicken for the chicken and dumplings, straining the broth, because I put like celery, onions, carrot tops, celery tops, onion peels. I've got a lot of stuff to go through in this roaster. And then get dinner started, make a dessert, and I'll be cleaning the house all while I do that. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, give me a like. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. I would love to have you. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Hope you have a great day.